Today, we're diving into a game-changing little book, Deep Work by Cal Newport. And to make it extra easy to follow, I've sketched out a mind map you'll see on the screen throughout the video. All right, let's talk about the big idea first. Newport argues that the ability to focus deeply without distraction is becoming super rare and super valuable, like elite athlete in the mental Olympics kind of valuable. And in a world where everyone's fighting to go viral or answer their emails in under 2 minutes, this might be the most underrated skill of all. So let's unpack how Newport builds his case. It's not a bunch of dry theory. He's basically giving us a roadmap. He starts by defining what deep work is and why it matters, then lays down 4 surprisingly doable rules to help us build more of it into our lives. Let's start at the root. We're living in a world of distraction. On average, people touch their phones more than 2,600 times a day. We're swiping, clicking, reacting constantly. It's like our brains are on call 24/7. Newport calls this shallow work. Emails, meetings, messages, the busy work. It looks productive on the surface, but it doesn't actually stretch us or create real value. And here's where it gets bold. Newport argues that if we keep living in this distracted state, we're not just wasting time, we're slowly losing the capacity for deep thinking. That's kind of chilling, right? So he introduces what he calls deep work, intense, focused, undistracted effort on something meaningful. It's the zone where you're fully immersed. Hours pass without you noticing, and your brain is firing on all cylinders. To make this real, he gives us the story of Carl Jung. You probably know the name. He was a pioneering psychologist who broke away from Freud and carved his own path. But what's fascinating is how he did that. Jung literally built a stone tower in the Swiss woods. No electricity, no distractions, just him, his thoughts, and a massive pile of wood to chop. It was there, in that deliberate solitude, that he birthed ideas that would redefine modern psychology. Now, that might sound a bit extreme. I'm not saying we all need to go full cabin in the woods, but the principle is clear. Carving out space to think deeply matters a lot. So now that we know what deep work is and why it's important, Newport walks us through how to actually get there. And first, we need to understand what we're up against. Let's look at this contrast, shallow work versus deep work. Shallow work is easy, reactive, and fragmented. Think of answering emails or jumping on low-stake Zoom calls. It feels productive, but it's cotton candy for your brain. Deep work, on the other hand, is where the magic happens. It's cognitively demanding, focused, and usually a little uncomfortable. Jack Dorsey, the co-founder of Twitter and Square, gives us a cool real-world example. Back when he was running both companies, yes, both companies, he noticed that his Twitter days were a mess. Constant meetings, fires to put out, notifications galore. But at Square, he blocked out entire days to focus on one theme: strategy, product, whatever needed deep attention. And guess what? That's where the real breakthroughs happened. Okay, so we get it. Deep work rocks. But how do we actually do it? That's where Newport's first rule comes in. Work deeply. And spoiler, it doesn't happen by accident. You need a plan, a ritual. Where will you work? When? For how long? What will you focus on? Newport says to treat your deep work like a sacred appointment with your brain. Protect it fiercely. Turn off your notifications. Set boundaries. And sometimes go a little extra. Like J.K. Rowling did when she was writing the final Harry Potter book. She kept getting interrupted at home. Laundry, emails, all the usual stuff. So she checked herself into a 5-star hotel, not for luxury, but to write. Undisturbed, in total focus. That's how seriously she took it. And here's where Newport gets sneaky smart. He says we also need to embrace boredom. That's rule 2. Wait, boredom? Yep. The truth is, we've trained ourselves to run from even 2 seconds of stillness. Waiting in line? Pull out the phone. Elevator ride? Instagram scroll. But that constant stimulation, it's wrecking our ability to focus. Newport suggests scheduling your internet time, literally, like, I'll check the news at 4 p.m., not before. And try something called productive meditation. Take a walk, no podcast, sorry, and mull over a single problem. It sounds simple, but it's shockingly hard and powerful. Charles Darwin took long, silent walks every day, mulling over natural selection. Steve Jobs did walking meetings, no tech, just thinking. There's something magical about letting your brain breathe. Okay, deep work is good, boredom is good. What's next? Quit social media. I know, but hear me out. Newport isn't saying social media is evil. He's saying we need to use it like a craftsperson uses tools, only if it truly serves your purpose. If it helps you connect meaningfully, great. But if it's just pulling you into hours of scroll hypnosis and splintering your attention, maybe it's time for a detox. Newport himself has never had a Facebook account. He doesn't tweet, doesn't post on Instagram, doesn't even use LinkedIn. And yet, he's a tenured professor, best-selling author, and highly productive human. Go figure. The next rule is a game changer. Drain the shallows. This is where you get ruthless. Newport says shallow tasks should take up no more than 30 to 40% of your day. That means time blocking your calendar like a puzzle. Group the admin stuff into chunks. Protect your deep work hours like your cat protects their favorite nap spot. And this idea isn't new. Benjamin Franklin, back in the 1700s, scheduled his entire day. He started with the question, what good shall I do this day? And mapped it all out. Deep focus, chores, reflection. Centuries later, still a solid move. Let's do a quick check-in, our little midpoint recap. So far, we've covered what deep work is and why it matters, the difference between shallow work and deep work, how to structure your environment to support deep focus, why embracing boredom strengthens attention, and how to rethink your relationship with social media and shallow tasks. Okay, onward. In the final section of the book, Newport zooms out. Deep work isn't just a hack, it's a lifestyle. It's about consistency, habit, rhythm. It's like going to the gym, not once, but every week, even when it's cold or your couch is calling. A lovely example here is Adam Grant, the organizational psychologist, author, and professor. He teaches all his classes in one semester. Then he disappears, academically speaking, to do deep, uninterrupted research and writing for the rest of the year. That's how he cranks out bestsellers and influential work year after year. Batch your shallow so your deep work can shine. Now, how do we use all this in regular life? Here's what I suggest. Try blocking one 90-minute session this week for your most important project. Just one. Treat it like a doctor's appointment. No phone, no tabs, just go deep. And if you're feeling brave, do a 7-day social media detox. See what happens when your brain gets bored again. You might be surprised what it does with that space. Okay, final recap. If there's one big idea to carry with you, it's this. Your ability to focus deeply is like a muscle. Train it, protect it, and you'll stand out in a noisy world. And hey, if you'd like to download the mind map or a tidy summary of today's episode, they're totally free. The link's down in the description. And if you want to read the full book yourself, there's an Amazon affiliate link down there too. All right, friends, that's it for me. Until next time, stay curious, stay cozy, and maybe log off just a little bit more. Marmy out.